Hi, I'm Juno, your trainer for the Juno Learning Series. Today, we're going to dive into an exciting journey of learning and discovery where you'll gain new skills, enhance your knowledge, and explore various topics that will empower you. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to demystify credit card authorization reversals within Opera, a topic that often leads to questions. Understanding how Opera handles these reversals is crucial for a smooth checkout process and avoiding unnecessary holds on your guests' funds. At its core, when the Opera Controls credit card's authorization reversal allowed setting is enabled and configured with credit card payment methods, Opera is designed to schedule an authorization reversal for each reversal job. However, there are specific scenarios where this happens automatically, and others where manual intervention or understanding the process is key. Let's look at our first scenario. Imagine a guest checks in and provides a Visa card, and an authorization hold is placed on it. During their stay, perhaps they decide they want to use a different card, say a MasterCard, for their final payment. In this situation, when the hotel staff updates the payment type in Opera from Visa to MasterCard, Opera will automatically signal and send an authorization reversal request to your payment service provider. That's companies like Wordline. It's important to understand that at this point, Oracle's Opera's developer responsibility regarding the authorization reversal ends. The actual reversal of the funds is then dependent on the payment service provider, PSP, and the guest bank acting on that request from Opera. If you find the reversal hasn't occurred in this scenario, the issue needs to be addressed directly with your PSP and the bank. Our second scenario is perhaps the most common. A guest checks in with their Visa card, and an authorization is taken. At checkout, the guest decides to pay with the same card they used for the initial authorization. In this case, if the hotel user doesn't make any changes on the payment screen, meaning they don't change the payment type to something like cash and pay, CNP, or a pay-only type payment, Opera will settle the account using the already generated token and the existing authorizations. When the settlement request is sent to the PSP, it will include those initial authorization details. The PSP recognizes this as a completion of the transaction, and therefore the original authorizations will be consumed and effectively released. Again, the final action of the reversal is up to the PSP and the bank. If the reversal doesn't happen, it's a matter to take it up with them. This scenario is where we often see authorization release issues. A guest checks in with a Visa and an authorization is taken. At checkout, they opt to pay with a different card, let's say a MasterCard, and the user selects Cash and Pay, CNP, or a pay-only type payment to complete the transaction. Here's the crucial point. Cash and pay-only are independent payment types. This means they don't look at or interact with any authorizations already taken on the reservation. Their sole function is to take money. Because these payment types are used, Opera cannot signal to the PSP that this is a settlement including the initial authorization details, unlike in scenario 2. Consequently, all authorizations taken for the reservation will not be released automatically. So, what do you do if you're in that scenario 3 and need those authorizations released? If the guest wants the initial authorizations released, the hotel user must go back into the reservation before taking the final payment. Change the payment type temporarily to cash or any other non-credit card payment method. Crucially, after changing the payment type, you must click the Save button for Opera to activate the authorization reversal function. This will signal Opera to reverse the original authorizations taken on the initial card. Then you can proceed with the CNP or pay-only payment. As a last resort, some hotels also have the ability to use their payment service provider's PSP portal to manually release authorizations. However, this is outside of Opera and would require direct interaction with your PSP system. 1. The authorization reversal allowed setting in Opera is vital for enabling these processes. 2. When a different credit card is used during the stay and the payment method is updated, Opera signals a reversal. 3. When a guest pays with the same card at checkout without changing the payment type, Opera settles the account, consuming and releasing the authorizations. 4. Be cautious when using cash and pay or pay only with a different card at checkout, as this bypasses the automatic authorization release. 5. To release authorizations in the cash and pay scenario, temporarily change the payment method on the reservation to cash and save before processing the final payment. 6. If reversals don't occur, the issue often lies with the payment service provider or the bank. We hope this clarifies how authorization reversals work in Opera. Thanks a bunch for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here, and we hope this video is turning the Opera authorization process into a piece of cake for you. If you have any questions or need further clarification, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help make this as easy and straightforward as possible for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.